Hello, Miami. Welcome to Let's Chat with Disco George. My people, it's Friday, and today I am bringing you a fantastic guest. Yes, you know what I love? I love to go out Fridays for happy hour, enjoy a delicious meal, and I found a fantastic place called La Doña. It's in Sawgrass, and the chef is here, Chef James. He's actually been here 21 years in Miami, and I'm so happy that he's here. He is Chef Cordon. He actually went to Cordon Bleu, and he learned locally, and he went to France and came back, and today we have him here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for such an amazing introduction.
Well, thank you. I'm so happy to have you here, and you're actually my first chef.
Really?
Yes, you're my first chef here.
That's amazing. It's such a privilege. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I've had other restaurants, but I've never had the chef. Okay. And believe it or not, I always tell my restaurant owners that it's important to showcase your chef.
100% is one of the key people in the organization. And, I think a lot of times chefs don't get that level of recognition that they deserve. They're always doing the toughest part of the job, and then they're also behind their stoves doing their thing. And often in times I feel most of chefs, my case has been different because of my television career, but I want to use this moment to shout out to all those chefs and people that put so much effort and hours and resilience behind the kitchen and the stove. So yeah.
It's one of the things. There's a certain restaurant that I go to a lot down here, and the chef, she always takes time, and the restaurant's full, and she usually goes to a couple tables and takes time to welcome and thank the patrons that come in.
Right.
And I think it's fantastic. She's doing like marketing within her location.
Right.
And everybody loves her, and she'll recognize you. I'm a frequent eater.
Yeah, frequent flyer.
Oh yeah, so I was gonna say that, but yeah, I'm a frequent eater there, and she's always very gracious. And I've had other restaurant owners, but there's nothing like having the chef.
Yeah, I mean, people, especially since the era of the Emerald Lagasse's and rocks, chefs became rock stars in a way. I always tell the story. So one day I went to Vegas, and there was at the Caesar's Palace there was 2 autograph signings happening. One was Chuck Norris, who's a great actor.
Yeah.
We've seen him in a million movies, and then next to him was Bobby Flay, another chef. I was very young at the time. I was maybe 16 years of age, and the line behind Bobby Flay was like 200 people, and there was like 5 people wanting to say hi to Chuck Norris. I was one of them.
There we go.
Yeah. I wasn't even in the food industry, but I wanted to see Chuck Norris, and everyone wanted to see Bobby Flay. So yeah, we kind of became like, the focus of attention. And, I think it's important for the chefs to come out and leave that space where they're most of the time hiding to go and meet their guests,
Exactly.
and be sort of like interact and make the experience better. People want to meet you.
Exactly.
So yeah,
You are the creator.
exactly.
There we
In a
go.
way.
Let me ask you, was that the moment that you met Bobby Flay that inspired you to become a chef?
Well, not really. I was always a big eater since I was a kid. My family being, I was born in Venezuela. My parents are Syrian, but Syrians have this particular way of eating. Every meal is a celebration. It's a feast. So there's no like un platico comida. It's like a table packed full of food.
Wow.
So
How many courses?
it's like everything to share, but every time like lunch, there's so many things. There's hummus, there's like kibbes, there's this, there's grape leaves, there's a million things in the table. So I think it came from that. And then I really love to eat, so that took me into developing this sort of like curiosity on how it was done, and I would spend a lot of time with my family, my mom, my aunts, and then I learned, to cook Arabic food initially when I was a kid, and then from there, one day I said I wanna take this to the next level. So I went to school, and then I think
Cordon bleu.
Cordon bleu, yeah.
And how long is that to become a chef?
My career was 2.5 years.
Okay.
I did a bachelor's in hospitality.
Okay.
So yeah, it was a long career, very intense, and then it changed my life, since that day.
The reason I ask how long it is because there might be somebody that actually wants to become a chef.
You're right.
And so, do you see a lot of young chefs coming up now?
Yeah, I do. I always tell them one thing. A lot of people, because it became a trend, and chefs are now cool, and you see them on television shows and whatever. A lot of kids want to go into the kitchens, and I always tell them, go in a kitchen, work in a kitchen, find yourself a job, and then decide whether you want to do this or not. Because when I started in Le Cordon Bleu, it was 66 people that were starting with me at that day, and then only 6 graduated.
Wow.
6 graduated.
So it's just 10%.
10%, and it was intense. I mean, the chefs were, my instructors. There were chefs that came from Europe, from France, and it was like going to military school.
Wow.
It was so intensive. That day, you had a little spill in your jacket, they will send you home.
Wow.
Literally. So it's intense.
And how was France?
France, it's amazing. It's like the mecca of gastronomy. It's like everything. It's so perfect and so polished, and so it really raises your standards. It was a great. To me, it was a great way of sophisticating or like learning something different. But overall, seeing that other side of the world, where I think. Compared to like Latin America, for us, eating it's a celebration, but they sort of like see food differently. They see food differently. I mean, it's all about the quality of the ingredients, paying as much money as you can pay for that ingredient, because that guarantees going to be the best possible thing you're going to use for your dish, and then that's going to elevate your dish. So we're more like, we'll go to the supermarket and it's like, what's the cheapest?
Yeah.
I want the offer.
Yeah, isn't it funny? It's totally different.
¿Cuál es el descuento?
Sí.
So it's a little different.
And after that, you came back. You went to Telemundo and became a TV star practically.
Yeah. From there, one day, out of pure coincidence, I went into this audition, and 3 days after the audition, I was named the official chef for Telemundo Network, which is the national network. And then from there, I was the host. I was one of the hosts for the morning show. I did that for 11 years.
Wow.
And then alongside that, I did all the competition shows. I judged Top Chef, Master Chef. I did not only in Spanish, English, but also I did the Arabic version in the Middle East, because
wow.
I speak Arabic through my parents, and I did that. So it was like fast forwarding everything that once was a dream for me. It was like writing a book, the book becoming a bestseller, opening restaurants, creating my e-commerce, my line of products that today serve over 100,000 people in the U.S. My products, pans, pots, spices, knives, everything, are now in more than 100,000 homes in America, which is insane. Yeah.
Wow. And you also did a cookbook.
Yeah, I did a cookbook. It became a bestseller. It's called The Homemade Chef, and it's basically how to use all of the knowledge that we have in professional kitchens to make people's lives easier, but elevate their cooking game at home. That was the whole thing behind the book, and
it's all styles, I assume.
Yeah, it's like a little bit of my favorite 100 recipes from.
Wow, 100 recipes.
100 recipes.
Is it like this big?
Yeah, it's pretty big. I wanted to create a book that became like your to-go book when it came to you entertaining, or you wanting to, leave the arroz con frijoles for a day or two and treat yourself to something different, you know.
Right.
So yeah,
And is that available on Amazon?
it's available on Amazon.
¿Cómo se llama de nuevo?
The Homemade Chef.
The Homemade Chef.
Yeah.
All right, guys, make sure you check it out.
Yeah. And then alongside that, you know, I said now I want to create products to complement that, and I started creating all my line, you know, my whole line of products, from pots, pans, knives, spices, all kinds of things, air fryers.
Wow.
And the whole idea and the promise was, how do I, again, from a professional chef, what is it that I need? That I need products that are very, you know, tough, very, I mean,
durable,
durable, reliable, effective, and I basically translated that into my line of products, and you know, in a matter of a year, all of our products had 5 stars in every single platform out there. You know, people can find them at chefjames.com.
And okay, perfect. So you have everything is there.
Everything is there, and yeah, we're super excited to be a way to help people at home when it comes to, you know, cooking or, you know, entertaining.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the most important thing that we came for, which is La Doña.
Yes.
Awesome. Congratulations. How long has La Doña been open already?
We opened on the 20th of December. And La Doña has been a dream come true for me. It's a Mexican restaurant where we really respect the true authenticity of Mexican cuisine and the Mexican flavors, and we just elevate the presentations, and we elevate the, you know, the platings and how we serve everything. So it's a work of artistry, you know. That's the way I feel it. We don't want to overcomplicate ourselves. We want the ingredients to shine for what they are. It's a seafood and grill restaurant, so you're gonna find a lot of the fresh stuff, like the ceviches, you know, carpaccios, and like a lot of those cold things that we want to start a meal with. We have a great margarita program. We have an amazing wine selection. We have a mixologist in house that has created some very remarkable, cocktails. And then I worked alongside my executive chef Patrick, who, helped me really land the idea of putting all this concept together, and it's been crazy. I mean,
awesome.
From one day to the other, first month was like, okay, what do we expect? We never know. And now, I mean, we have people, we have 400, 500 people visiting the restaurant every day, which is insane. We never thought about
you're
this.
Located at the Sawgrass.
Yeah.
So you're at a fantastic location.
But people come from all places. You know, you have people coming from Homestead, which is almost like an hour and a half drive, and they're coming to try the churros and the margaritas, and they want to try the octopus, and it's just something that I never thought possible, you know, and having, like, coming to the restaurant, seeing the reviews online, having, 4.5 reviews on every other platform, and seeing people just smiling and happy, and it's just one of the best and most rewarding things you could ever experience as a business owner.
I'm going to ask you, what's your favorite dish that you make?
Oh my God, that's a tough question. There's several dishes I like, but I always like to go progressively. Okay. So I always like to start with the ceviche or something fresh. I'm a big fan of the octopus carpaccio.
Actually, I think we have a picture. Production, can you show a picture of the appetizers?
Okay, this is actually something I really love, and we're in Florida, and we have great lobster here. So this is the lobster ceviche.
Lobsters,
delicious. I mean, we use a whole tail. It's just vibrant, intense. We cook the lobster in a way where we really want to showcase the flavor of the lobster. So the first thing we do, we take the lobster off the shell, and then we cook the shells in butter.
Oh, wow.
So now we enhance the flavor of the butter with all the flavor that we can get out of the shells and the heads of the lobster. And then we use that butter, which is now infused with lobster, to cook the lobster in. So it's like lobster on steroids. They're so flavorful, so amazing. And then all the rest of the ingredients just complement this whole ceviche.
Wow.
It's mind-blowing.
No. I think I would order 2 of those and turn it into a meal.
Absolutely. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
What's the next one we have on file?
So this is something I truly love. It's now we serve it. You know, it comes smoking to the table, and this is an octopus tostada. I'm a big fan of octopus, and because we are a seafood and grill, I think this resembles what the concept is all about. We take those octopus tentacles, we pass them through a very hot grill, we get the smokiness, and then we put it on top of a tostada with our house-made guacamole. We have those 2 sauces, the chipotle sauce and then the avocado sauce. It's just fantastic. You know, the crunchy tortilla in the bottom, you just bite into it, it breaks. I think it's like a sensory experience.
And that's the sauce. What's the sauce? The chipotle?
Sauce, there's a chipotle mayo that we make in house. We use some maple syrup to also give it that depth. We use some garlic. We use some acidity. I can't give you the recipe.
No, por favor. No, quiero problema después. Did you come up with it or Patrick?
We've complemented each other really well because we sit down and we do this great dynamic on everything where we're like, what do we put? How do we take it to the next level? So everything I think has been like my vision and his execution. So, you know, it has been the key to a great menu. 2 heads think better than 1. Yep. You know, that's the way I see it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what else do we have on file?
Oh my God, this is amazing. This is our shore rib. It's cooked in a birria broth. Birria became the sensation of Mexican cuisine, right? People were making birria tacos everywhere, and then the taco, you dunk it into the...
Can you elaborate what birria is?
Birria is basically a stew, you know, and they take, you know, meat and they cook it low and slow in this very flavorful broth with spices, and it's red, vibrant, intense in color. And then they shred the meat after it's cooked, and then they use that meat to make some tacos. Then they Americanized it a little bit, putting cheese and then putting it on a griddle. So now you have this like stewed meat that melts in your mouth with the cheese that's melting and covering this whole thing on a crunchy golden brown tostada, or like a taco flour tortilla, and then they serve you the consomme on the side. So the way this should be eaten is you take the taco and you dunk it in the liquid where the meat cooked for X hours, you know. So we really wanted to take this dish to the next level. So it's usually for birria, you know, we use cheaper cuts, of meat. This is in Mexico, but like we were like, okay, how do we really take it to maximize it, like, you know? And we were like, okay, how about we use shore rib? So we cook it for 36 hours in the birria broth, and then those bones on the side, literally you can pick them with your fingers, pull them out nice, clean and shiny, and you can put them in your pocket, take them to your dog, you know, they're perfectly, you know, fine. But it's the whole experience, you know. And then we put the corn, almost like street corn, on the side. Okay. And then based on my conversation with you before we started the show, I'm going to put more rice when you come.
Thank you.
For sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll make sure we serve more rice for you.
Do it a disco size. Disco Joe. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, 100%. But this is a great dish.
People are going to be happy because you know what? They're going to take it home and then they're going to go, hey, but where's that? What is that? And then they're gonna take it to work the next day.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're gonna talk about you.
Absolutely, that's the whole idea, you know, word of mouth.
And do you also do elote?
Elote, yeah, it's a big thing in our menu. We have them in different ways. I mean, this is a street kind of corn that we put as a side, you know, complement for the birria, the shore rib. But we have an elote that we prep table side. We bring a charred elote, which is corn, basically. Right. We cut it on a plate. We dress it. We use the cooking liquid from the elote. And it's beautiful. It's like artistry almost, you know. It's another one of the new items on the menu.
Now while we're talking here, I'm visualizing eating at your location.
Yes.
Can we do a presentation of elote and guacamole at the same time?
Oh yeah, 100%. We brought back the whole idea of making guacamole tableside. So when you order a guacamole, they come with a cart, and our servers make it right there fresh. They cut the avocados in front of you. It's a whole experience, and we want the whole menu to be interactive. Often in times when we go out to eat, we don't want just the average dining experience. We want it to be elevated. So seeing what's going into your guacamole, seeing how they prepare it, it's like table side right there. The margaritas are incredible. We have a great selection of tequilas and mezcales, and it's been.
Let me ask you, do you guys do happy hour?
We do happy hour from what time, Patty?
5 to closing.
From 5 to closing.
5 to closing.
Yeah, every day. Right? Not weekends.
Not weekends. Every day, but not the weekends.
But weekends, But yeah, we have a happy hour that has picked up amazingly well. I mean, we're in Sawgrass, so it's a massive mall. Almost like every manager from all the stores, when they wrap up, they're like,
to distress.
Let's go to La Doña and enjoy their guacamoles and their margaritas and everything. And we have a special menu also for the bar. But it's fun. We're making friends. We're enjoying ourselves. We have a lot of locals coming and non-locals as well that become, in a way, like regulars. They drive an hour just to come.
That's
to
your
the
best
restaurant.
client right there.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Production. What else you got?
We have some more pictures there. This is fire, man. This is fire. It's making me hungry.
Candela.
You were asking me.
Call 911.
Yeah, you were asking me about one of my favorite dishes in the menu. This is the grilled octopus. This one, compared to the other one, this one we call octopus zarandeado. It's a technique that's heavily used in the coast of Mexico. This is from La Península de Yucatán. So we basically use this marinade. I can't tell you.
No me diga.
I won't.
No me diga. No me diga.
I won't. We use this marinade, and we marinate the octopus, and then again it goes through the grill at a very high temperature to sort of like get a nice crust in the outside, but then it's super perfectly cooked in the middle. Then we make a chili and tomato sauce that we serve under. We serve with fingerling potatoes, Brussels sprouts, onions, and peppers. And then we also have our guacamole or our aguacate bonbons, which is the sauce on the side.
Oh, okay.
And this is every time you serve this dish and it goes through the dining room, you see everyone's like, what is that? What is that? I want
Is
one.
that a smoker too?
This one doesn't come. I mean, it comes. No smoker.
No smoke.
No smoke. No.
¿Y la
smoke.
fajita? ¿Tienen fajita?
We don't do fajitas.
¿Qué hay, Dios mío?
Let me tell you. I love you brought that up because fajitas is a very American take on Mexican, right? So fajitas are a very Tex-Mex kind of dish. You do see them nowadays because you know that every country in Latin America eventually picks up a lot of the stuff that happens in America. So fajitas actually were not to be seen in Mexico, but then it became a thing here. And then Mexico was like, okay, let's put them in our menu. You know?
We go.
So yeah,
I have I'm gonna since you're from Doral, I'm gonna throw you back. Do you remember El Torito?
El Torito.
Where donde está la carreta in Miami International?
Of course.
I used to go there all the time, and I used to love their fajitas.
Yes.
Oh my God, I was like, man, this is like, oh my, well, you were a baby.
Okay.
I'm much older than you.
Thanks for the compliment.
Yeah, but I used to go all the time, and they had the most fantastic fajitas. So I would go fajitas, happy hour, and they had los mariachis.
Yes, we do on Saturdays at the restaurant. We have Mexican trios, and they come and sing alongside.
¿A qué hora?
Durante la tarde,
After 5?
After 12.
After 12.
Yeah, I think it starts at 3.
Yes.
Just from 3 to the closing, we have live music.
Okay.
Which it's not like music, knowing music. It's like un trio, and they're walking around the restaurant and singing. It's amazing.
Lots of people love live music, and it's very difficult to find nowadays.
Yeah. And we were able to find that happy medium where it's not annoying. Again,
Right.
People are coming to a restaurant where, we're elevating the food experience and everything, but at the same time, a tiny touch of like music in the background always enhances the experience.
All right. Production, let's go with dessert.
Yeah.
Candela. Esa sí es candela. Mira,
Yes, sir.
I see fire.
Literally, yeah. Right there, you have el flan de la abuela. It's I mean, it's a flan that we make Mexican style. We use cajeta, which is dulce de leche, and then caramelized popcorn on top, and then we flambe the whole thing with mezcal table side as well. So you come and it's a whole show, and we put the mezcal and it catches on fire, and then we let the fire go away so we don't obviously burn your eyebrows or anything.
Right.
And then we put it in the table, and it's delicious. It's warm. The popcorn, the flavor of the smokiness of the mezcal. It's making me hungry.
There we go.
Yeah.
Why don't we could go after?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Last picture.
Yeah, I mean, this is also another very Cuban dessert, but at the same time is very Mexican too.
Tres leche.
Tres leches. You can't miss it. We flambe it.
Better
as
known
well.
as el lechazo.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So we make this is a citrus tres leches. So we use lemon on the meringue, and it's one of those desserts that when you try it, it almost feels like home. It feels homey. It makes you feel warm. It's like you feel loved. Very, very soft in the inside, very moist. We put a little more of the tres leches in the bottom, so you can get a little bit of the cake.
And that is that shareable? Because it looks shareable. It's a good size portion.
Yeah, it's a good size. Everything is meant to share. All the menu, we always tell people, like, order many things and share everything. It creates that nice interaction. It's like, oh my God, what do you think about this? I love it. Wow, this, how about that? It creates.
It's all about the experience, like you said.
We need to conversate. We need to talk more nowadays. We see it all the time. People come to the restaurant, they're sitting on their phones. They don't even talk to each other all throughout the meal.
Oh,
and
wow.
it's sad, you know?
You gotta have un mexicano con un pito.
Yeah, exactly. Every time they're too much on their phone.
Let me ask you, do you do anything special for like birthdays?
We do. We do all kinds of cool things for our birthdays. We bring una rocola, which is a jukebox, a small jukebox, and we put it next to you, and it starts singing Mexican happy birthday. And when we bring bengalas, and it's
una bengala, no sé.
Bengala es como una vela, like one of those candles that they start firing stuff up, and it's become a cool thing to celebrate birthdays at La Doña,
Okay.
And then if you call us and make a reservation, dessert is on the house, because we still want to make it special,
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. So when's your birthday?
And do you know the number out of by heart?
The what?
The phone number to make a reservation.
The number by heart? No, but
Míralo ahí.
Okay.
305-686-8495.
I have another phone number, actually.
Oh yeah, what's that?
Yeah, the phone. Actually, the phone for the reservation is, I'll tell you right now, is actually 754-324-5743. I'm going to repeat it once again. 754-324-5743, and they can make reservations online on Open Table. And
and if they make a reservation, please tell them that they saw you here at Let's Chat with Disco George.
Absolutely. If you mention Disco George, I'll give you guys a free margarita on the house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but you're the man.
I mean, we got to make it special.
Está acabando.
New kid on the block.
There we go.
I need to make sure that people feel loved and served. So make sure you mention George, and you're going to get a free margarita on the house.
I think I'm going to have to do something. It's Let's Eat with Disco George, and I'm going to take a group to your location.
Oh, my God. That would be amazing.
Imagínate. So if you want to do a Let's Eat with Disco George, inbox me, and we'll all go to La Doña, and we'll have margaritas, and you get a free one for sure, since you know me.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go.
It's all about the connections.
There we go.
Think about it.
It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Exactly. You said
and
it
who do you know?
Georgie.
Disco George in the house.
Disco George in the house. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love your positivity.
Thank you.
And it must be the formula for your success.
I mean, I think we are now living in a world where it's very, very difficult to change the world. Everyone's like, behind. I want to change the world. I want to change the world. I want to change the world. And I think we have to start by changing our own world. And instead of expecting the world to change, we need to start by changing ourselves into what we want the world to be. By doing that, we can directly impact the people around us. Our children, our friends, our family, and I just like to be, that person that constant in times is looking at the we're not focusing so much on the problems that we're facing, whether it's politics, whether it's global warming, the world, everything. It's always going to be there. So we either work with it, or it's gonna just have us be at home crying all day about everything that we can't control. So being positive, being of help to other people without expecting much, changing expectations for appreciation. We often in time go when I do you a favor and then I'm expecting something in return. So I always tell people, like, don't expect anything in return. Just do things and either call it God, the universe. Something's gonna pay you back one way or another. So just be nice, when you're going on the street, something as simple as letting somebody pass, we're driving sometimes in Miami and it's like the horns and it's like, not the way I pasar. Why not? I mean, we're grateful to be in a car.
And it's 2 seconds.
It's 2 seconds. You're grateful. You should be grateful of having a car, that you used to go to work. It has air conditioning. You can listen to the radio. You can listen to podcasts. You can listen to George. I mean, we are blessed with what we have, but often in times we take a lot of these things for granted and we don't appreciate them because we have them. But a lot of people wish, they were where you are. You dream of someone else's life while somebody else is driving of having your life. So we have to wake up every day and be grateful for what we have, and not for what we don't have. For what you don't have, you work for.
Exactly.
You put it in your goals, you put it in your vision board, and you work hard. I always tell people, I'm an immigrant. I came to this country. I didn't even speak the language. And everything that has happened to me has not happened because I've been lucky or out of coincidence. It has happened because I work for it. I don't wait at home for things to happen. I go out there and pursue them. I create the connections. I get myself in the room. I talk. I communicate. So that's why I always tell people, if you want to really grow your businesses and everything, today we have over 11 companies within our ecosystem. You need to be out there. You need to learn how to communicate. You need to work on being a leader. You need to learn and constantly educate yourself in those areas where you really want to grow. If you want to grow business, you don't expect to be sitting at home and having an investor come to you and tell you, here is $1 million, start your business. No, because then eventually you're going to fail. Because you don't know business. So if you want to grow in business, start educating yourself. If you want to grow in communication, start reading books on communication. If you want to learn about marketing, which is another thing I always tell people they should learn about. You go out there, start reading books on marketing. So it's just the way life works,
Well, I want to thank you for coming today. Today you came to the room where it happens.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to going, and I hope that my followers enjoy this interview, and I hope that some of you guys are interested. Let me know if you guys want to go down to La Doña. We'll get a group together and we'll have a great time.
Absolutely. And for those people at home, you make sure you give love to George. The guy is like, here doing everything he does for you guys and keeping you informed and bringing great people. So sometimes something as simple as a comment, a like, all those things add up to making his show more successful. And make sure you guys give him some love the way he does every day to you guys. So
thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. So like he says, if you enjoy the show, please give me a like. And if you really like it, share it with all your friends and family. Have a great one.